The Tomodachi series has to be one of the most underappreciated series in Nintendo's catalog. The premise being simple and easy to pick up. A small island secluded from the rest of society, and it's your job to populate it and fill it with life. With Mii's, you can put anyone on the island you saw fit for it. Barack Obama? Boom. Walter White? Boom. Your mom, your dad, your granny? Anyone can be put on this island, and anything could happen. Friendships, hardships, relationships, the whole can of worms. But before we get into the details and spoil the goodies, we'll start from the beginning, the way far back beginning. This is a deep look into the Tomodachi series. The year is 2006, and on the 19th of November, Nintendo has just formally released their newest console, the Nintendo Wii. Now we all know the story of the Wii by now, so allow me to just sum it up in a quick manner. The console reached the high casual market, which allowed it to be one of Nintendo's most successful consoles. But along with that success came the birth of a staple of modern Nintendo consoles, until this day, are still being used in games. The Mii's. Now, if you are unaware, the Mii's are customizable avatars that were heavily utilized on the Wii and other future consoles that would follow. Like previously stated, your imagination was the limitation with what you could do with Mii's. While not the most complex customization for characters like in, say, The Sims or 2K, it had that level of charm and uniqueness that really made the Mii stand out as icons. In the Wii era, their star appearances were in the Wii sports games, and really brought the charm into those games. Those games would not be as recognizable without the Mii's. And now the logical step for Nintendo was to make more games featuring the Mii's, and that is exactly what they did. But not just on the Wii with games like Wii Party or Go Vacation and Mario Kart Wii. No, but on their hot, on the market, handheld console, the Nintendo DS.
The Nintendo DS was released in 2004 and was and still is the most successful Nintendo system by a long shot. Now the DS predated the Wii by a few years, but the Mii still found their way onto the system. In the year 2008, a game by the name of Personal Trainer Walking was released for the DS, which allowed users to track their walking, jogging, and running activities, and use the Mii's to track progress. Now because the DS didn't have a built-in Mii Maker, the game would have its own Mii Maker, or allow you to transfer Mii's from the Wii onto the DS wirelessly. Now this served as a nice little quaint game for the DS, but this was only just the beginning for Mii's on the DS, because only a year after this game would be released, another one would be released, and this one would change Mii's forever. In 2009, June 18th, Tomodachi Collection was released for the Nintendo DS. Tomodachi Collection is a social simulation game which allows you to create Mii's with a built-in Mii Maker or import Mii's from the Wii to be put on an island. But you don't exactly play the game, you sort of just kind of watch it unfold. And as you keep playing this game, with the more Mii's you add, the island grows in size. The Mii's are able to interact with each other, become friends, fall in love, wear clothes, sing songs, eat food, and tons more. And to top it all off, this game had an amazing soundtrack. I mean just complete bangers left and right. The developers packed so much charm into this one game, it's astounding. It truly brought the Mii's alive and allowed for them to transcend the status of just being emotionless blank avatars. They had feelings, wants, goals, and to top it all off, they could fucking talk. They could talk.
Yeah,
the talking didn't sound so good in this game. Now, if you're new to the Tomodachi games, you might have not been familiar with this entry. That is due to the fact that this game only ever saw a Japan release, due to the developers not being able to localize the voice synthesizer to handle English, thus, a Western release was never made. However, fan-made subs would be available to the public in 2013, allowing for more Westerners to find and play the game. But regardless, Tomodachi Collection was well received by Japanese audience. It had sold 3.7 million copies in its run and was the 23rd best-selling release on the Nintendo DS. And the fact that it was only available in one country made it all the more impressive. With the success of Tomodachi Collection, it would be almost downright stupid to not make a sequel for this game, which was soon to be made for the successor of the DS. Please welcome the Nintendo 3DS. Enter 2011, the year of Nyan Cat, Black and Yellow, and most importantly, the Nintendo 3DS hit the shelves. Now, although it was not as successful as its predecessor, the red brick really holds a special place in my heart. The amount of charm the 3DS had was out of this world. The little icon jingles and music still play in my head to this day. All the little apps to fuck around with truly made the 3DS what I deem a GOAT handheld. And of course, one of those apps happened to be a built-in Mii Maker for the system. This one came coupled in with many new customization options for you to use for your Mii, allowing for more variety in terms of what you could do with your Mii. Nintendo really opened the gate for more Mii-centered content, and that gate would soon be met with the return of the Tomodachi franchise. Nintendo releases a huge direct in 2014, showcasing the newest installment in the Tomodachi franchise, Tomodachi Life, also known as Tomodachi Collection New Life in Japan. This game would serve as the sequel to the previous installment, and let's just say, it did not disappoint. Tons of new stuff, improvements on old stuff, and English-speaking Miis are finally able to be put into the game, allowing for it to be released outside of Japan. This was the first time Tomodachi had seen a formal Western audience, so this direct would serve as a good first impression to audiences and sell them on Tomodachi. Same core gameplay, islands, Miis, all that jazz, but improved by tenfold. Now before we jump right into the release of the game, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, the controversy behind the game. Yeah, Nintendo did not include the ability to have same-sex couples in Tomodachi Life. No gays, no lesbians, no bisexuals, just straights. This would cause people to be very vocal with their concerns online, considering that consumers felt that it didn't fully allow them to be in the game, and hindered their enjoyment of the game due to not being able to add their husbands or wives into the game, and only being able to fall in love with a different sex, with the ability of same-sex couples being restricted. This caused a hashtag to go around social media, hashtag #mequality. A hashtag demanding Nintendo allow them to have same-sex couples in the game. This caused Nintendo to respond. Nintendo never intended to make any form of social commentary with the launch of Tomodachi Life. The relationship options in the game represent a playful alternate world rather than a real-life simulation. We hope that all our fans will see that Tomodachi Life was intended to be a whimsical and quirky game, and that we are not absolutely trying to provide social commentary. Yeah, not the response I would have given, but that's just me. But they later apologized and said, "We apologize for disappointing many people by failing to include same-sex relationships in Tomodachi Life. Unfortunately, it is not possible for us to change the game's design, and such a significant development change can't be accomplished with a post-ship patch. We pledge that if we create a next installment in the Tomodachi series, we'll strive to design a gameplay experience from the ground up that is more inclusive and better represents all players." So yeah, no same-sex couples, but hey, we'll have them in the next game, which of course is going to come out with the success of these games, no doubt. Definitely. Anyway, Tomodachi Life was released in 2013 in Japan and 2014 in North America, Europe, Australia, and South Korea, and to say it was a huge success would be an understatement. Tomodachi was able to reach 3.1 million sales by September 2014, and by 2022 would reach 6.7 million sales, ranking it at about 11th place in terms of sales for the Nintendo 3DS lineup, just under double of what the previous installment did. This game was really endearing. A lot of people compared it to The Sims or Animal Crossing, But the key difference with Tomodachi in those games were that you had a lot more control over your characters in The Sims and Animal Crossing than you did in Tomodachi. You see, Tomodachi was basically a game you kind of just let handle the driver's seat, basically steering its own course. All you had to do was peep in their apartments and the magic would unfold. Like before, Miis would do all kinds of things. They'd make friends, eat, wear clothes, marry each other, have kids. The story practically wrote itself. There'd be fights, divorce, heartbreak. I mean, come on, this game has it all. I spent so many hours on Tomodachi Life, and I can't act like I regret it. So much love and charm packed into the game. So many little things the developers added to make the game just that bit more fun. And oh my god, the soundtrack. I obviously have the track in the background, but I highly suggest listening to all of the OST on your own time because I genuinely think it is such a great soundtrack of memorable songs. The game would rise in popularity with YouTubers all playing the game and sharing it to their audiences. YouTubers such as DanTDM, Yub, Swimming Bird, and I think my personal favorite, Vinny Vinesauce. Vinesauce really brought out what Tomodachi was supposed to be, a goofy game that you could insert your own story into, and I think it'd be justified to say his playthrough of the game is truly the best one. This really had so much life packed into it, it's unreal, and I still hold it as one of my favorite games of all time. Just such a unique experience you couldn't get from any other game. Nintendo seemed to be going in the right direction with the Tomodachi series. It almost seemed like a no-brainer to make a sequel, right? It had to be imminent, right? 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 So, it's 2022. Almost a full 10 years since Tomodachi Life first released on the 3DS. And there still has been no mention of another installment in the series. Now this always strikes me as odd considering the game did great, and the demand was certainly there. But for some reason, nothing. Absolutely nothing from Nintendo. Now we did get Miitomo and Miitopia for the phone and 3DS respectively. And while both did their own things, they were both definitely influenced by the Tomodachi franchise in some shape or form. With this new era of Nintendo, it really feels like they really wanted the Miis to take a back seat. With the launch of the Switch, they put the Miis in the fucking settings. The settings. And it had no catchy music whatsoever. All the charm stripped away from the Miis. But with Miitopia getting a re-release for the Nintendo Switch last year, maybe we will see a potential Tomodachi follow-up in 2023. Who knows? But one thing is for certain, I'll be waiting. Thank you for watching. As a legend once said, have yourselves a damn good one.